Well, this is a personal story, the personal journey I took. This was triggered from my childhood, my teenagers, of course, coming from a background when you are subject to cultural bias, gender stereotypes, and violence, and sexual assault in your home country. So it always, was bothering me how I can change this with my family, with my friends, with male relatives. They wouldn't listen to me. I was just a small girl, a small kid. I had no saying in the family. Okay, I was lucky. I had a parent who were supporting, but I was always confronted by my uncles, my male classmates, my colleagues. I was blocked over and over. At work, I lost my job, I lost my health, I lost so many things to just have an impact. Not a change, of course, but an impact, a positive impact around like the people who are, working with me. And anyways, so I started to be a lawyer. I started to study law, again, confronted all the time, but by male professors that according to Islamic laws and regulations in the country, coming from Iran, I have half the rights of my male classmates. I have no right under the family law. So I started to work on this with other group of women lawyers in the country to have an impact on the family law, to change something, to have equal rights. But it failed. I lost my job. So I decided to come to Switzerland, hoping that working in an international community would have an impact, at least remotely, for my home country and also for other countries that I'm working with. Starting my career with Swiss government, then working with different UN institutions, it was the start of my journey, empowerment journey. So I started the projects with different regions, mainly focused on Southeast Asia, working with Cambodia, Philippines, Vietnam, Laos, and also Bangladesh, women producers and indigenous communities, women in disadvantaged positions coming from far distant areas in Asia. So it was really a very challenging project because the women had no access to basic knowledge how to improve their economic situation, to have an access to local, regional, and international market, to be able to sell their product, working in agriculture and textile sector. So coming from a very poor areas, least developed areas, they had to work 10 hours per day to get to the workshop, to the silk workshop, or to the coffee field, or to pepper field, to be able to work, to gain some maybe $1 or $2 per day. So the idea behind the project was empowering and help women from legal perspective, to teach them, to make awareness and mentor them how they can improve their economic situation with better legal protection. So this is the picture taken from women producers in Cambodia. They were producers of pepper, and it is a premium product now being exported to European markets. So interviewing with all these women in disadvantaged position that they were trying to change something in their lives, but they had lack of the access to everything, to funds, to legal protection, to enforcement. And then the project was going on, and I also had an interview with a local NGO based in Cambodia, helping women working in the sex industry to get out of the sex sector because they were forced by the families to bring money, to go to prostitution to bring money. So helping these women to gain skills and knowledge to be able to learn some other works to gain some remuneration, some money. So this is an NGO established in Cambodia, and they're helping women to enhance their work skills to be able to bring money to their family. And it triggered some other projects with some other parts of UN, working with local producers, this time with my home country, Iran. And of course, I cannot go back now anymore working remotely with these women because it's really challenging to work as a woman and have an impact in the country. So interviewing with these women, hearing their challenges, the opportunities that they can have, and also mentoring them along the way. And again, this triggered another project with this institution, that institution. And always mentoring was a major component of all these projects to help women, to lead women to find their ways into their career, into their business, into the environment and communities they're working in. So it was a project, the very first study triggered and started by European Union during pandemic time. Of course, not easy. Traveling to the region was not easy. I had to work remotely. Women didn't have enough access to internet. It was really challenging to collect the data and gather information from women. And imagine being the first study by European Union, I was super stressed how to do this. And the challenges that women were facing in order to access to the basic laws or regulations to protect their basic rights, and also the challenge of enforcing their rights in their home countries. And of course, not speaking English, being illiterate in most of the time, even digital literacy was lacking. And so many, and of course, lack of confidence. And as a mentor, being a lawyer and a mentor, I had to lead their way to gain some confidence as well, to be able to have the access to international markets, because they were like coming out of their boundaries from the local communities and rural areas that they were based in to come to EU market, to Swiss market, even to be able to export to the neighboring countries. Maybe when your country is under violence or you're deprived from your basic rights, talking about women economic empowerment would be nonsense. Like people would, they would ask all the time, what is women economic empowerment when you are deprived from your basic rights? But of course, women economic empowerment can lead you to be able to be confident and independent, to be able to ask for some other rights, not being always under the influence of male-dominated community. So during this project, we were interviewing women, we were having consultation meetings, mentorship sessions with women to identify their challenges, how we can help them from legal perspective, and how we can help them to improve also their interpersonal skills to be able to be more active as a woman entrepreneur or as a woman producer. And of course, all these projects with different institutions, different regions, was somehow a trigger point during a pandemic to start different mentorship programs for different institutions in Geneva and beyond, with the institute here, with different UN agencies, with local governments, with academia, with different NGOs, mainly in Asia and Africa. And mentorship is not only about having individual or group sessions with the mentees, which are mostly women in my category. It's about having an empowered network. It doesn't mean that women don't have power and you need to give them power. No, they have the power. But as the mentor, you can trigger this power, you can boost this power, or you can help them to use their power in a way they desire. So we did different mentorship programs for different institutions, which helped us to have a very expanded and efficient network of women who are working with each other, helping each other, and sharing knowledge and experience. And now, being Iranian, The major part of my mentees I work remotely with, or the Iranians based in Europe mainly. They're either coming from legal community, being a lawyer or a student, or entrepreneurs. And this lady, Lida, she is my role model. She is I think, the star of our mentorship program. She's coming from violence. She's coming from South Iran, dominated by male culture, biases. She was threatened few times by her family. They were after her to shoot her and kill her. So she had to escape. She had to escape, move to the capital city, to Tehran, to be able to study and work, because according to their community culture, they had to marry to their cousins in young ages. And for me, being Iranian, coming from capital city, I wouldn't never imagine that a woman can face these issues. And now I'm hearing these stories, the personal experience that each and every woman has, coming from different regions and cultural backgrounds. She is, of course, after 20 years of hard work, she's now one of the successful woman entrepreneurs in Iran and established her business in Oman. She's a woman entrepreneur in Oman, consulting Omani stakeholders. And we're going to establish our NGO soon. Okay, the law is not there yet, doesn't allow foreigners to establish an NGO, but we're going to have the first NGO on women empowerment, a component of which, of course, would be mentorship in Oman in less than 1 month. And since last September, the situation intensified in the home country. So for me, as a mentor, it was my role to help and somehow lead and inspire the mentees that I was working with in order to help them to overcome the current situation and the challenges and the constant violence they are facing in the country. So for us, mentorship is not just leading the way to career, but of course, gaining the power and confidence in order to pave the way even for future, even for the country. And yeah, so this is the whole story. And for mentorship, being a mentor, you need to dare to care. You cannot be a mentor just for being a mentor during the sessions that you are having the interaction with your mentees. It's all about caring about each other. And it's all about reverse mentoring, where you can also learn from your mentees. They can also lead your way. They can also inspire you. They can also share knowledge with you. So it's all about empowering each other, inspiring, and daring to care. Thank you so much.